You spent years self-sacrificing, pouring nothing but love into your child, and trying to create a home that felt safe. You did the work. You loved them with everything you had. And yet, here you are, staring at a silent phone, an empty seat at the dinner table, and looking at your child's social media profile from afar. If you are a mother living through the sudden, painful silence of estrangement, you likely feel like you're carrying a secret, heavy shame. The world tells us that if a child leaves, the parent must be toxic. The parent must have did something wrong. But you know the truth. You weren't perfect, but you were present. And you always put their needs before yours. So why are you being cut off? Today we're going to explain why good parents end up in this position. Not to assign blame, but to finally help you breathe again. To understand this, we have to look at the unspoken contract of parenting. For older generations, the contract was simple. You provide, you protect, you love, and in return, there's a lifelong bond based on family, love, duty, and mutual respect. But there's been a massive cultural shift. Today, the focus has moved towards individualism and protecting your peace at all costs. At one point, I even fell victim to this myself with my parents. Adult children are now often encouraged to view their own happiness in direct opposition to their parents' influence, opinions, beliefs, personality, and lifestyle. It's no longer about whether you were a good parent. It's about whether your child perceives your presence as a barrier to their self-discovery, peace, and ideal life. You aren't being cut off because you were bad. You are being cut off because the definition of a healthy relationship has been completely rewritten without your input. There are three common forces that often drive this wedge. Number one, the trauma lens. Modern therapy culture has many benefits, but it often encourages adults to comb through their childhood to identify trauma. Often, normal human friction, interactions, and events are recategorized as abuse, leading them to believe that no contact is the only option to a path of healing. Number two, the outside influence. Sometimes the pressure comes from a partner, a friend group, or even a political ideology who demands loyalty. And that loyalty is often proven by how quickly a person can detach from their family. Number three, the narrative rewrite. You remember the childhood you gave them. They remember the childhood they feel they had. These are two different stories, and right now your perspective is the last thing they want to hear. The hardest part is the missing reasons. How do you fix a bridge and mend a relationship when the other side has no intent to reconnect? Often because you were a good parent. You protected them from real-world consequences and difficult conversations. Now they don't have the tools to talk through difficult conversations and even conflict with you. So they simply delete the conflict by deleting the person. It isn't healthy and it isn't fair, but it is an explanation. Accepting that you cannot force them to give you a reason is the first step to reclaiming your own peace. I want to leave you with this. Your value as a woman is not and never will be defined by your child's ability to feel your love and to see your heart. You are a mother with a history, a life, and a worth that stands completely on its own outside of this estrangement. Please stop waiting for the phone to ring or for their approval to start living your life again. You have poured into them for decades. It's finally time for you to pour that same love into yourself. If you're struggling to find that balance, tell me in the comments. And what's one thing you're doing just for yourself today to pour some love into you?